It's Wednesday, it's the Daily Dose, and we've been talking about some miscellaneous matters in this last portion of James chapter 5. But the core of it is verses 7, 8, and 9 around the coming of Christ. Now listen to what James says in verse 9. He says this, don't grumble. Everybody say grumble, grumble. Don't grumble against one another, brothers and sisters, or you will be judged. The judge is standing at the door. Now, here's what we don't know. James, of course, is writing to a collection of churches that are scattered throughout the area, and there are some trials, some persecutions that are taking place. And so, therefore, he's admonishing them, don't grumble. Listen, pressure and trials in our lives create a complaining and a grumbling spirit. And grumbling is a serious sin among God's people. Why? Because it takes our focus off the glory of Jesus and it lowers our gaze into the imperfections of each other. And listen, we're all imperfect. We're all imperfect. And when we choose to grumble, we're actually sinning. When we sin against one another, listen, the judge, none of us are the judge. God's the judge, and he's standing at the door. So why does James give us this little verse? Well, I believe what James is saying to you and me is simply this. There's no time. There's no time for grumbling. There's no time for nitpicking. There's no time for Christians who, one, have a flimsy faith, who lack the maturity to stand firm, and there's no time for us to be casting grumbling complaints toward one another, especially in the light of eternity, in the light of Christ's return, in light of people's souls and their hearts and their lives falling apart. Listen, friends, we don't have time to grumble against one another. We have to unite. We need to be clear about our mission to cast and to spread the gospel far and near. And then we need to be committed to making disciples for Jesus Christ. So as we wrap this up today, here's what I want to challenge you with. Who are you grumbling about? Listen, who you're grumbling about is a reflection of where your gaze is. Listen, get your focus off of people. Repent, confess, and then fix your focus on Jesus and get the gospel out today. I love you. I'm praying for you, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daily Dose.